What's up? What's up? Thank you for tuning in to AG Sports again. Appreciate all the support, guys. A couple things I want to touch on today. First of all, it's going to be preseason week 1. Just kind of a recap what happened. So first of all, elephant in the room. That's not really an elephant in the room. The YouTube picks did go 0-3, and I promise you, it does not get any worse than that. That's literally the absolute worst, and it sucks. It happens. And I will tell you, if you've been betting for any amount of time, you are going to have a bad week here and there, and it happens. There's not really a lot of avoiding it, and it makes those wins even sweeter. But the opposite will happen too. You will have those weeks that are like 3-0 or 5-0, whatever the case is. On that note, though, I had some people reach out to me and just say, "Hey, don't worry about it." Blah, blah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. But in saying that, though, it wasn't all terrible for me. I did get 2 wins this weekend, so I ended up with a total of 2-3. One of the wins, it was something I had put a lean out on earlier in the week on the YouTube channel, but one of them was, I had also talked about it on the YouTube channel, but I did make it, quote unquote official on Twitter the day of. And so if you're not already following me on Twitter, I would say please do so. And only because there's a lot of things that are going to happen on game day or like the night before the game or something like that, whether it's an injury or a line move or whatever, and I can't really get on YouTube and relay that right away. So if you follow me on Twitter, I can give you that information, that news as it happens. If you're looking at the screen right now, what I had put out that day on game day was something I saw from Ski Profit. And if you're not already following him, please do so on Twitter. He's really great. He's one of my favorite guys to listen to watch, to follow. And he actually usually covers the NBA. But he had noticed, hey, the Ravens dropped to -1. And so that was one of my leans earlier in the week. The Ravens were actually -4 most of the week. And I really liked them to get the win. But I did not like the line. It was just not a good line. No key number was there. And also, I didn't really think that they were going to blow out the Saints. That being said, when he put that out, that it was at -1, honestly, and just in full transparency, I had honestly kind of like stopped watching the line on that particular game because it just seemed like the casino was dead set on leaving it at -4. And it wasn't until game day when the money finally came in from the general public to move it down to -1. And this was maybe like 2 hours before the game actually started. So I grabbed it as soon as I could. And of course, it ended up being the one winning. And that was one of them. The other one that I got was the Rams, and that was another one I had talked about earlier. And the Rams, I'm sorry, it was not the Rams, it was against the Rams. It was the Chargers at Rams. Same thing happened there. It was Chargers -3.5 for most of the week. It went up to -4 actually a little bit. And I liked the game. I liked the Chargers to win because I didn't think the Rams were going to give a damn. And I just didn't like the line because I thought 3.5 was too much. And if you remember, I had even kind of talked about Sean McVay giving the win to his ex-assistant and kind of letting him get off on the right foot in preseason. And that's exactly what happened. The Chargers, the line dropped to, I believe it was Chargers -2 when I grabbed it. And I'm glad that I did wait for that when we waited for a good number because the end score, let me take a look. I believe they won by 3. Let me just verify. Nope. This is the wrong one. They actually won by 7, so they would have covered either way. But either way, still got the better number and got that win as well. So those two count. But what really stuck out to me on that game was that the Rams just did not give a shit about winning that game. And at the very end, the last drive, they had like 2 minutes left. They're driving down the field. Looked like they were going to go for the tie or possibly a win. And what happened? Well, about a minute left in the game, Sean McVay just calls off the dogs. They were moving down the field pretty consistently, no issues, moving. And I believe they got to like the 35 or so. And like I said, it looked like they were going to go in and maybe get the win, or at least a tie. And he just stopped. They ran a play and then he just let the clock run out. And that's kind of the picture of Sean McVay for preseason, where he just does not give a shit about preseason, and he really has no incentive to show you his playbook and kind of show you the cards he's holding. So for those reasons, I like fading the Rams in the preseason, which brings me to my next point. The Rams are one of the leans for this week as well. Now, one thing I will say is the Rams are playing the Raiders, and it's a great matchup in the sense that John Gruden traditionally takes these games pretty serious, and he likes to really try and keep his starters out there and get the win, all that kind of stuff. Whereas the Rams, not so much, obviously. Sean McVay just could care less about winning a preseason game. Now, in saying that, though, again, it comes down to the line. I don't like it. As of right now, it is Raiders -7. I don't know if this is going to move or not. Week 1, I thought was going to be a lot of speculation and maybe some good lines to be had because people were not remembering preseason since we didn't have one last year. But now the cat's out of the bag. People remember, hey, yeah, that's right. The Rams don't care about preseason. And so now I think you're going to see money come in the other way, especially because the Raiders won that first preseason game. I could see this line going up. Now, on the off chance that people just think, hey, you know what? I know the Rams, I know their players, and maybe some general public that wasn't involved in week 1 gets involved this week. Maybe we see the line go down, and maybe it gets down to like 6.5. That's okay. It's a decent number at least. It's, you're at least getting a full 7. What I would really like to see is it get down to at least 6, if not under 6. And that's up to you if you want to use that. But for me, it is a pretty strong lean. I'm really trying to limit myself to just one play for week 1 or for week 2 because of the performance in week 1, and just making sure that I'm seeing the field clearly before I start putting more and more units into this thing. And just as a reminder, it is a half unit per game for preseason. Aside from the Rams, though, and the Raiders, the other lean for this week was going to be the Ravens. So same thing here. Like I said, the Ravens had to wait for the good line. The Ravens, as of right now, are -3 favorites against the Panthers. And one of the things that I look for with these games is just kind of to maybe act when the rest of the public isn't looking on something. And again, I thought maybe people had forgotten that the Ravens were great in preseason, and it seemed like they did for the most part, especially when I saw that line move. I thought, okay, great. So the public did forget how great John Harbaugh is at preseason games. Now, again, cat's out of the bag this week. I don't think you're going to see that good line movement happen again, at least not in our favor. And so the -3, it's at a key number, so it might not move at all. But if there is some money coming in on the Ravens and people are acting on this, like, was it 13-0 record now, you're probably going to see it increase to like -3.5, -4 on the day of the game, or, before kickoff or whatever that case is. Now, one thing I will just kind of bring up is that John Harbaugh is not like undefeated in preseason. He has lost. So at some point, I think he is going to lose. I'm not saying it's going to be this week. I'm just saying either one, you want to fade that trend, or two, you might want to wait until it happens and then hop back on the train if that's what you're going to do. Lastly here, and this is my pick and the one that I'm actually most concerned with for week 2 as far as what am I looking up and researching and stuff like that, it's the Titans at the Buccaneers. So right now, and I just want to show you on OddsJam because this could be the best way to show kind of all the lines that are out there, or at least most of them. The money line is actually pretty tight. So it's about, just even money for the Titans. There's like a couple of plus 102s there, some minus 105s, but it's pretty tight for just the money line on the Titans, and about the minus 120 for the Buccaneers. Now, if you go to the spread here, there is, on OddsJam and on all these sites, the consensus is +1. Now, I will tell you, as I've shown you before, one of the books that I use is Bookmaker. And right now, they actually have the Titans at +1.5 at -108. So while these lines here have the +1.5 at -125, and that's only on Fox Bet, if you go to Bookmaker, you're going to get the same +105 for a much lower odd. Now, as far as the +1, Bookmaker has this at -103. So they're also beating the lines across the board. And then lastly, one of the things I really like about Bookmaker is that they give you this +0.5, the 0 or -0.5 all at the same line. I have no idea why you would choose the -0.5, like it doesn't do anything for you, or even the 0 really if they're offering you the +0.5. So just so you know, there's very, very few ties, and I can't even think of one off the top of my head in the preseason, but just in the off chance, in the 1 in a million chance that it happens, you have that +0.5, and if they're not going to charge you anything for it, and they're actually going to give you the same number as the money line, you might as well grab it, just in case that 1 in 1,000 does come up. But the reason that I like this play, aside from just having a decent line and a good number on it, is the couple of quotes that I saw and the interview that I saw with Bruce Arians. So if you didn't watch this, Bruce Arians earlier in this week, and I believe it was like Monday, he just said, hey, we're probably not gonna play any starters. Not like, hey, we're gonna give them a series or two, or maybe we're just gonna, maybe to try and spare them some looks. No, like, they're not gonna play any. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is that the Titans and the Buccaneers are actually doing like joint practices this week. And so the Titans, I watched their interviews, their preseason, their conference, things like that. And Vrabel did say, hey, we're taking everybody down there. We're going to get some good work in, some good practices, and a lot of respect, and blah, blah, blah. And it sounds like him and Arians are maybe not like best friends, but that they have some sort of working relationship, because he referred to conversations with Bruce several times. And that not like, they're not going to give each other a win just because for the hell of it. But I think Bruce Arians and the Buccaneers don't have a lot of incentive to win this game. Like, one, it's preseason for defending Super Bowl champions. They know their team is good. And they brought back literally everybody from last year. They brought back the exact same team. So there's no like, hey, we need to try people out and get different positions and new looks. None of that is going on. So I don't think, while Bruce Arians previously had taken the preseason pretty serious, and he has a winning record the last few years in preseason, I really strongly believe that this year he's not gonna care. He has no incentive to show us a playbook, put anything on film for other coaches to watch, and he has really zero worry about his veterans. He's not concerned with Tom Brady knowing how to throw the ball. He's not concerned with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin's knowing their routes. Like this, everything here has been intact. No reason to change it. No issues. The last thing you could have happen is an injury, a catastrophic injury for a meaningless play in the preseason on a team that doesn't really need preseason reps. Whereas the Titans have some sort of incentive. The players, I'm sure, are looking at this as like a chance to go play against the defending champions, put it on tape, see what it's about. They do have some more rookies. They have some more fluctuations with their team. They had a lot more people leave in free agency. And so they have some sort of incentive to win. Plus, I do believe they're going to be getting their starters. And in these games where you're looking at, a lot of totals that end up being like 17-14 or, 21-14 or whatever the case is, and each team is only scoring like 2 or 3 times, having your starters in there and being able to get a score, maybe even 2, before you take your starters out is huge. Even if it's just one, that one touchdown could really obviously make a huge difference in that game. And right now you're getting plus money on the money line. Man, like this, that's, to me, it's just all over the place. I don't see a reason that you wouldn't take the Titans. If you don't want to follow me on this one, you want to fade me because of last week, I totally get it. I understand. But in my eyes, this is going to be either Titans or nothing. So if you're not betting the Titans and you don't want to follow me on this one, again, I don't blame you. But I would say I'm not touching the Buccaneers at all. I'm probably not this entire preseason, and I'm probably not really looking at them until week 1. And, you would need to show me something that I have not heard, seen, or read to really change my mind on that. But that's where we're at for that week 2 picks and reviews and tips and all that kind of stuff. Just some giveaway items here. So one, as far as the giveaway is concerned, for last week, Colby Ilmer, he did win that giveaway. So if you could reach out to me, man, on Twitter, just need your address. I will send you the card. It was a Tom Brady 1997 NCAA card. So, or at least that was, half of the card was of Tom Brady in there. So if you want to reach out to me, again, my Twitter, it was on the screen earlier, but it's AG_sports21, AG_sports21. DM me, just let me know how I can get that over to you. Secondly, though, as far as this week is concerned, guys, there is another giveaway, and I just want to thank everybody for showing the support, whether you're watching, liking, whatever. Thank you very much. And because of that, I'm going to be giving something away from my store. So these are wireless headphones, earphones. As far as I'm concerned, and I have all sorts of different headphones that I use on a daily basis, whether it's working out or cutting the grass or whatever, especially because I listen to like a lot of podcasts, a lot of different football talk, stuff like that. The best thing is just like invaluable, as far as I'm concerned, is a great pair of headphones, especially wireless, because you don't want to be running with the cord and all that kind of stuff messing up or getting in your way or, getting caught in the lawnmower or whatever you're doing. So these wireless headphones, I actually had them made for me for the dimensions of Beats headphones. I have both Beats and then obviously my own headphones that I had created, and I gotta say I don't see a difference in them. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in some sort of wireless headphones that are, again, completely free, it's a giveaway, guys. You don't have to do anything. The only thing that I do ask is that you like and subscribe, and then leave me a comment below saying, hey, want to be in the entry. I will put your name on the spreadsheet. I'll have the drawing, and this week we'll do it again on Saturday. Pick one of the winners, guys. So the headphones themselves, I sell them on my site for, as you can see, close to $30. But most other places I've seen these sold or something similar, so it's like $100, and then the Beats themselves are like $200. So it is a good value, absolutely free. Just to thank you for watching, guys. I want to give somebody a pair of headphones here, hopefully a better way to listen to myself and some other podcasts and football information as the season is getting started. But thank you again, appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything you want to go over this week, any comments, any discussion pieces below, stuff that you'd like to share with the class, guys. We can all learn, including myself, and we all want to get some good picks in. So thank you again. Have a great day.